Welcome to Sage Audio. Today let's cover how to mix hip-hop vocals, but first, if you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us to receive a free mastered sample of it with the link in the description. Tuning the vocal. The chapters in this video will be shown as a chain. Now, tuning vocals is pretty common in rap and hip-hop, and you can usually get away with using more aggressive settings. Now for this vocal, the pitch was a bit rough, so I had to tune it first with Melodyne, but then I also decided to run it through Auto-Tune and Metatune. Now the key was D flat major, so I selected that, then varied the tuning speed to taste. Let's take a listen first to the unprocessed vocal, and then to the fully processed vocal, so that we get a better understanding of how the next 10 chapters will play out and work together.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep.
Use subtractive EQ. Next, I want to clarify the vocal a bit and set it up well for subsequent processing. With this shade EQ, I'll attenuate the lows and some of the boxiness around 300 Hz that the tuners added. Then I dipped a little of the nasal tones around 1 kHz. Let's take a listen and keep in mind that the effect might be subtle, since it's more preventative than anything else.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep.
If you're enjoying the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It's free and it helps us bring you more videos. Introduce upfront compression. Having an upfront vocal is really important for hip-hop, and compression with a quick attack, quick release, softer knee, and makeup gain is a great way to achieve this. Additionally, using a little look ahead helps the compressor capture more of the vocal's details and transients. Let's take a listen and notice how this step in particular makes a big difference.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep.
Use additive EQ. After the vocal has been pushed to the front by compression, I'm going to amplify aspects that I want more of. With an EQ, I boosted a little of 500 Hz to improve vowel pronunciation, and some of 3.5 kHz to increase vocal clarity and help it cut through the beat. Now you'll also notice that I had to cut some frequencies again, like the lows and sibilants, which were made a little unpleasant by the previous chapter. Let's take a listen to how this EQ balances the vocal and adds clarity, and keep in mind that I'll add more to the high frequency range in a later chapter.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep.
Utilize clarifying saturation. Having crisp vocals is important in hip-hop, and one processor that helps achieve this is a good saturator. Now with it, I'll introduce tube saturation, which will help fill the vocal, as well as amplify its transients, helping it cut through the mix and accentuate pronunciation. Also, this saturator in particular has a presence filter, which helps emphasize high frequencies, adding more clarity to the vocal. Let's take a listen to how this starts creating a desirable, crisp sound.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep.
If available, use Soothe 2. At this point, our vocal has improved, but it's still lacking polish and it isn't sitting right with the beat. With Soothe 2, I'll attenuate excessive resonances that are still making the vocal sound unbalanced for one reason or another, but I'll keep the effect mild. Now this processor sets us up well for temporal effects like reverb or delay if they're needed, but it will take the aggressive nature of the vocal away if it's used too much. So let's take a listen to how at this stage, our vocal sounds up front, crisp, and now relatively balanced with the beat.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping, piss I like a sleep.
Today's video is brought to you by LaLal AI, a next-generation neural network trained in separating and extracting various instruments and signals, all with minimal audio artifacts. To use it, simply upload your track, let the AI process it, and then preview the results. It can separate vocals from instrumentation, as well as drums, bass, electric guitar, and more. Additionally, they offer a vocal cleaning program that's great at attenuating unwanted noise from a vocal or dialogue. Right now, they're offering a free starter package, so check that out using the link in the description. Achieve parallel compressed high frequencies. This is a really important step for modern rap and hip-hop vocals, You may have noticed that despite our previous processing, the highs are still lacking. Now with Ascend and on a parallel track, I'll first use a linear phase EQ to isolate the highest frequencies of the vocal. I'll also use a shelf to amplify them. Next, I'll use this MV2 upward compressor to squeeze as much detail out of it as possible from the noise floor up, creating a dense sound. Lastly, I'll introduce this PSP compressor since it can introduce both look-ahead and RMS compression, which when combined, help control both the transients and lower-level info. Now with makeup gain enabled and oversampling turned on to avoid aliasing, the highs have been significantly controlled and can be blended in with the original signal via the channel fader. Let's take a listen.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping pills I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been pills I like a sleep.
If you're enjoying the channel, use the search box to watch more of our videos. Generate and blend harmonies. Vocal harmonies help fill the vocal and make the performance feel more complex. Unfortunately, the harmonies for this track were too out of key to be used, but we could use a harmony engine to generate new ones, using the lead as the processor's reference. I'll set up another parallel send with the harmony generator and set the scale to D flat minor. I'll mute the original and introduce harmonies one octave up and down, as well as a fifth. To help the new harmonies blend in, I'll introduce an EQ after the harmony generator and isolate the response to the mids. Then, I'll saturate them to create in-key harmonics and fill the sound even more. Lastly, I'll blend in the effect with the parallel tracks channel fader. Let's take a listen.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping pills I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping pills I like a sleep.
Introduce short reverb reflections. Last up for my sends, I introduced subtle and short reverb to thicken the vocal slightly. That might not have been needed, but I enjoyed the sound of it and it gave the vocal a unique characteristic that also got rid of some of the unpleasant room reflections in the original recording. I blended this in at a low level, but let's check out the subtle difference that it makes.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping pills I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping pills I like a sleep.
Route all vocals to bus and EQ. With my original vocal track and the parallel sends, I'll change their outputs from the stereo output to a collective bus. This way I can control the level of everything with one fader. Additionally, I'll add an EQ to this bus and very subtly shape all of the vocal signals. Let's check out how this EQ subtly balances the vocal and puts a final touch on it.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping pills I like a sleep. I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping pills I like a sleep.
Bring bus down and blend in. This last chapter is more or less a little trick that I like to use when I've finished all my processing and I like the sound. I'll bring the vocal bus down entirely so that only the instrumentation is playing and then subtly increase the level until it feels right in the mix. Let's try this out and find the right overall level for the vocal.
I've been moving something you can see. I've been popping pills I like a sleep.
If you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us to receive a free mastered sample of it with the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching.